Hi everyone, I am Chelsea and this is Lighthearted Kitchen. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about all of the produce that is coming into season in summer and why you should eat seasonally and choose this produce for these next few months of June, July, and August. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is tomatoes. Tomatoes are obviously the first thing you might think of when you think about summer produce, and what's amazing is tomatoes are super high in vitamin C as well as potassium and lycopene. Lycopene, if you haven't heard of it, is basically a natural SPF. So it is going to help protect your skin from the sun from the inside out. It is so amazing that they come into season right at the end of spring and going into the beginning of summer because we genuinely can use that natural SPF as the sun starts to get brighter and hotter and help our skin from burns. The next thing we're going to be talking about is green beans, which are super high in folate, and they actually are a great source of fiber as well. So they are really easy on the digestive system. Summer is all about foods that are going to be a little bit more cold and refreshing and hydrating, just because when that sun is out in full swing, we need more quick energy. So we also need the fiber to digest that energy quickly, and then we need that hydration too. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is cucumbers, which are also one of the most hydrating produce items that you can get this time of year. Cucumber also supports glowing and clear skin. It's rich in silica, which is going to really help boost the hydration of your skin and really help with that summer glow. So it's not just products from the outside in, it's going to be products from the inside out that really help with the glow as well as the sun protection like we talked about. The next thing we have is avocados. I'm sure you guys know and love them already, but they are an incredible source of so many vitamins and minerals. They are full of omega-3 fatty acids and just that really good, healthy heart fat that I'm sure you've heard about, but be loading up on your avocados this summer. The next on the list is leeks, and I absolutely love leeks. They are so good sauteed and then put onto anything like a tart or a galette. They are really rich in vitamin C and K, and that vitamin C, like you hear about in oranges and citrus, can actually be found in so many summer fruits and vegetables, and they're incredible for boost your immune system during this season because we're definitely going to need that when we are out and about running around and sweating a lot more in the summer. They're also very anti-inflammatory and anti-diabetic, so anyone who's dealing with a little inflammation, which is honestly all of us, so anything we can do to add in more anti-inflammatory foods is going to help our systems really detox naturally as well. The next one we're going to talk about is one of my longtime favorites, and it is zucchini squash. Zucchini squash is also really high in vitamin C, and it's great with macular degeneration, so it's going to help slow that down, and it actually helps with wound healing. So if you get cut this summer, load up on your zucchini squash. Also, a lot of the summer fruits that are going to help with our digestion, like we talked about, we're really going to need to speed up that system in summer because we're moving more, we're sweating more, and there's more light in the day. So peaches are going to be amazing for this increased digestion, as well as antioxidants that protect against aging and disease. So if you find some peaches at the market and they're super ripe and fresh, be sure to grab them, throw them in a salad. You can even put them on a cobbler, a peach cobbler in the summer with a little raw vanilla ice cream is the best treat. The next thing we're going to talk about is mushrooms. They are really high in polysaccharides, which help protect against infections, and they are also super high in vitamin D. Fun fact about mushrooms, there's not a lot of vitamin D found in any produce, and it's usually found in red meat sources. But mushrooms are full of vitamin D, and they can actually continue to soak up vitamin D after being harvested. So if you have any mushrooms or you find any at the market, you can actually set them outside in the sun, and they will soak up even more vitamin D before you put them in the pot for cooking. The next one we're going to talk about is broccoli. It is also full of folate and vitamin C, and it is incredible for skin pigmentation as well. So if you struggle with any pigment issues, load up on broccoli. And also, fun fact, if you add mustard seeds or even ground mustard, it even helps boost the benefits of broccoli even more. So those are a great pairing. One of my favorite ways to have broccoli in the summer is actually like a cold broccoli salad. I love to toss it with a little vinegar as well as almonds and that mustard that we talked about. And it's just a really refreshing dish. You can kind of like partially boil the broccoli so it's not super tough. And then you eat it cold as well. So you can toss it in the fridge and eat it throughout the week. The next one we're going to talk about is okra, which if you didn't grow up in the South, you might not have had much of growing up. I definitely didn't, but it is an incredible source of fiber, which is really great for your digestion, as well as vitamin C, which is great for immunity, like we talked about, and calcium to protect your bone health. If you see okra at the market, I would definitely recommend grabbing it. You can throw some olive oil on it, throw them on a skewer, and toss them on the grill, and then make a simple garlic aioli to dip them in on the side. And the last thing we're going to talk about is garlic, the famous ingredient that you're going to want to put in almost any dish. It contains allicin, which is incredible for your health. And actually, fun fact, if you chop up your garlic and you let it sit on the counter for 10 minutes at least, it'll actually boost the allicin in it. So instead of chopping it and throwing it right in the pan, you're going to want to contain that compound as much as possible. It's also best if you just throw it on in the last couple minutes of cooking or even raw at the end. You're going to get the most amount of benefits from it. It's super anti-inflammatory and it's great for your immunity. So I would also recommend, if you're feeling a little under the weather this summer, you can also put some garlic in raw honey, let it ferment for a couple weeks, and then just take a shot of it as well, whole and raw. That's all we have for produce that's in season that's going to really help boost all of those nutrients that you can get out of the food. Harvesting produce when it's at its peak ripeness is going to bring you the most amount of nutrients, but those are definitely not all that's in season. There are so many amazing herbs, there's radishes, there's peas, there's so many things. So definitely check out your local markets and see what they have. Anything they're probably selling at the farmer's market is going to be in season in your area. So eating what they have is going to be best for you in whatever zone that you're in, not just Southern California like us. So definitely check out your local markets, talk to your farmers, get to know them, figure out when things were ripe and when things were picked, because most of the time at your markets, they might have picked them that morning, which means eating them that day is going to be giving you some of the best nutrients you could ask for in your food, and just shortening that chain of how long it takes for food to get to your market and then into your mouth and on your plate is going to give you a broader range of vitamins and minerals. So I highly recommend. That's why we do what we do here, and we always share a guide every single month. So not just specific to summer, but specific to June, July, and August. We share over 90 recipes every single month that you can make with this in-season produce if you need any more recipe inspo. Thanks for coming. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe, and we'll be back soon. Thank you.